Okay, thanks, Dad. My dad started off this speech by thanking Chris, and he ended it with thanking everyone else that helped. The problem was he left out the two most important thank yous, two people that, to be honest, don't get thanked enough, especially by me. I don't show my love that much. My parents know that. My mum doesn't particularly like that. However, at times like this, I think it's time where my affectionate side can come out. Yeah. To a lot of people, I might add, this doesn't happen all the time. So just don't laugh when I'm trying to be sad. My parents are two of the most wonderful parents I could think of. They have always been there for me at all stages. My dad, I've got everything. Everything I have, besides my good looks, I've got everything. Back when I was, I don't know, around 6 or 7, me, my mum and Nick took a trip to the dentist. My dad actually reminded me of the story the other day. We were at the dentist down in Wallington. Me and Nick had just had ours done, and Mum was having her teeth checked. At the front of the dentist, there's a pond. I think you can guess what happens next, but I'll tell you anyways. Me and Nick's around 4 or 5 at this stage. So we're out looking at the fish in the pond. At that stage, goldfish are pretty scary. I get up along the rocks to look inside. Little did I know that they weren't cemented rocks, they were just a show. So I'm up there, happy, and I fall in, as you've all expected. Nick, bless him, throws his arms out to try and catch me, but at this stage he can barely hold a teddy, let alone his brother. So he misses, naturally. Nick, I start crying, frantically, because like I said, goldfish at that stage were scary things. Nick starts panicking, doesn't know what to do. He runs in to get Mum, which of course only creates more panic. She then doesn't know what to do and phones Dad. I think, this happens a lot by the way, I think he was either at home doing something, working. She then tells him, David, quick, come and get Michael. At this point I'd like to remind you all, I'm still in the pond. Cold, as my dad. My dad drops everything that he's doing, runs down, I'm sure as fast as he could, 20 minutes later. And a 5-minute car journey isn't that long, Dad. He comes and gets me. He brings me, I think, 2 or 3 towels and just sits me in the car. He puts the heating on, and he's mostly, you'd expect when you're a kid and you do something that scares your parents, they get mad, don't they? They get so mad because they're so worried about you, and then you get upset that they're mad. And you don't know why they're mad. But Dad, well, that's what Mum's like. Dad was so calm because he knew how scared I was. He just kept me so relaxed. He kept me so warm. He took me home, away from Mum, and just he made me feel so much better because I was scared. I was so cold. I didn't know what had just happened, and he just it was such. I know it doesn't sound like much, but at the time it meant so much to me that he did that.
I took the goldfish out of your ear.
Again, 30 minutes later. Again, my dad, every talent nearly that I have, granted a few, every one that I have are all from him. Any sporting achievement I've ever done, it's from him. There's pictures that we found at home. I'm 2 years old, 3 years old. There's a picture of him teaching me how to chester football. Sad as that may be, he's so proud of that. And again, he says he teaches me everything I know, and I always deny that, but it's true. The man taught me everything that I do, except for education. So yeah, I started off with my dad, and I'd like to move on to my mum, which, no offence, no offence, Dad, Mum is the slightly easier parent to thank. My father taught me all of my sports. He has always been there as a dad should be. My mother, on the other hand, I don't think I could ask for a better one. She has just always been the most supportive woman. At times we fight a lot, but I know she always says one day you'll appreciate all of this, and now I'm starting to. She's the reason that she's the reason that I get into my secondary school. She's the reason that I'm managing to do so well in school. She's the reason that I pass my exams. See, I'm not a big fan of work.
I blame the teachers.
Personally, Dad, I blame the father. But my mum, ever since I was young, she's always been there helping with my work. She's always been there helping whenever I have trouble. This past week I've been a bit down just from schooling stuff. It's been a lot of hard work so far, year 10. And so often, she comes into my room, she sits on my bed, she tells me to come over, she just sits me there cross-legged, like I'm 5, and just, she tries to get out of me what's wrong. I'm not someone that likes to talk about myself a lot. But occasionally, I open up to her, and the reason I like doing it most, it's going to sound really soppy, is the smile on her face and the tears in her eyes when I do. She just looks so happy when I open up to her, and once she actually did the same with me. I'm sitting in my room on my laptop, and she walks in. I have no idea what's wrong. She walks in, sits on my bed, and she just starts crying. I'm thinking this has never happened before. What do I do? So I love helping people. I help out all my friends with problems. I've never had to help out my parents, because well, that's their job to help us. But so I stop, and I turn around and look at her, and she just pours her heart out to me with problems I won't go into. But it was about Dad. And
Thanks so much.
And just to be able to sit there and help her, and her to be able to tell me all of what was going on, just shows how close we were. This was last year, maybe even the year before, so I wasn't exactly old, and she still came in to trust me with everything, and I trust her with everything. I may not tell her everything, but I do, Mum, honestly, I trust you with my life. So you two, as individuals, are great people. As a couple, words can't describe how amazing you are. You are possibly, well, in my eyes, I'm sure a lot of others, you are an insanely cute couple. You really are. Some of the pictures outside, I'm sure most of you saw as you walked in, you can just imagine them in the same poses now. They don't age, these people. The looks on their faces look exactly the same, but except for Dad's stomach. But no, as people they're incredible, as parents they're even better. I simply can't tell you how amazing they are as parents, but I'm going to focus now on just as them as a couple. Whenever my dad's upset, for reasons I don't normally know, because my dad very rarely shows it in front of us, my mum is always there, and she will sit with him for ages. I take my not speaking to people after my dad. My dad doesn't open up. My mum gets everything out of that man. She gets him to cry. I didn't know he could cry.
We don't want to tell him too much.
No, we do. She is just always there for him with all of his job work. She is the most supportive wife, supportive woman, supportive best friend any man could possibly ask for. And it's the same with my dad. Whenever my mum's stressed, which is a lot, my dad's there every time telling us, warning us, if you will, and he's always so nice to her. When she's in the greatest mood, the worst mood, he is the most supportive husband. Recently, he's actually been a house husband, as he's been at home quite a lot. And he's done a much better job than I thought, to be honest. He's, granted, not been as good as Mother, but he's done a great job. So I'm just going to end now, because I know it's a bit more than 5 minutes. But just to say truly thank you both, just for being the parents you are. I know I yell at you a lot and say things that I don't mean, and then we have a big fight, but after...
You're like your mother!
It's the Arab in me, it's coming out nowadays. It's just... At the end of all these fights, we always, as a family, me, Nick, Mum and Dad, always end up saying sorry and just have a big happy talk in their bed at night. The amount of times we just sit there as a family, and to be honest, friends join in. They come and sit on their bed and start talking to them. We always end up having a very happy evening, and if things really are going wrong, you couldn't ask for better people to go to for help. So really, Mum and Dad, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful evening and just continue being so happy with each other for the rest of your lives. Thank you.
Group hug. Okay, so now we